Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of the CR7 Podcast. The RTGAC is back, and today we're coming to you live here at 2 o'clock, back to what we once were. But yeah, we will probably be going back to morning episodes next week. But we did have a community period today here at St. Joe's Prep, so we decided to come to you guys live from 2 o'clock. And moreover, the reason that we have a guest that I'm very reluctant to let back on my show, or our show, that being James Hansen. Welcome to our show once again.
Thank you.
I don't know if I want to say welcome, but you're back. You're back on the show.
I'm really excited to be back. Talk some sense into Ryan, of course. It's always fun just to be on here.
Cole has been our audio man, and he's been working out with that, so that's why he has just appeared. But before we get into the rundown of the episode, we are going to have a bit limited time, but we can go a little bit over 2:40. Cole, say what's up to the people.
Good afternoon, everyone. A little change of scenery here in the afternoon, but I mean, I don't know if Ryan, you're ready for this, but I don't know if I am either. But we are here nonetheless.
Take off the jacket. I'm just gonna take off the jacket now. And I decided we're going to be a bit calmer unless we have some nonsensical takes that you normally display.
Nonsensical.
I mean, we have Jason. All right,
we're
going to run down the show. So we'll start off with our weekly Sixers recap, even though the Sixers have been looking like the epitome of a disgrace over the past couple of games. And then we will be getting into the draft. Jamie will probably not be on before the NFL draft takes place. So we'll be discussing the Eagles and their Patriots draft, because we obviously have a Patriots fan right here. And then Cole will be talking about the Brandon Staley and Kellen Moore hiring in New Orleans. And then moving over to the NBA, I will be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. Have they finally figured it out after defeating the Denver Nuggets just the other night? And then Jamie's topic that I'll give him a chance to explain on: Jason Tatum's first Finals MVP will affect his GOAT status after this year. What a terrible, terrible take. And then Cole will be asking the question: are the Spurs tanking after Victor Wembanyama is out for the season? We'll do Ryan's rants, and then we'll wrap everything up. So, Cole, starting off with the Philadelphia 76ers. Since we last talked, they are 0-4, and they are 0-7 in their last 7. So talk about this team.
Yeah, I think they're 0-2 though since we last talked, because
0-4 because Toronto.
Or wait, 0-3 because we talked about the Toronto game.
Oh wait a minute. Oh, they are 0-2. I'm so stupid. Yeah.
You're all good. But anyways, All-Star break and all that and whatnot. So anyways, still doesn't take away from the fact that they have a 7-game losing streak. I am not a big fan of the Sixers. I am, but again, not this year. At this point, it is time to start to, look towards the NBA draft, because at this rate, you're definitely not going to make the playoffs. Embiid is, looking for help, doctor-wise. Not sure who he's going to go to, because he's practically gone to all the doctors in his time as a Sixer. Tyrese Maxey, he's been phenomenal. He's top 5 in the NBA in scoring, so not much else I can ask for from him, as well as he's performing in the absence of guys like Paul George, guys like Joel Embiid. And then, Quentin Grimes, he's a good young player. I like what he's been doing. I already talked about his 30-point game, but I feel like he could be he could really amplify his scoring, especially, coming to Philly instead of Dallas with all their scoring threats. But he's looking good from 3. He's looking good from 2-point range. So I couldn't be mad about him. But all in all, I don't really know what to say. Is it a coaching problem? I don't think so. I just think it's an effort issue, a back-to-back games issue, stuff like that. And I'm already looking at the draft, who we could possibly get in the lottery. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. But other than that, there's not many bright spots in this Sixers schedule.
Well, what a terrible couple of games for the Philadelphia 76ers. And, I'm looking at them at the current moment in time. And, you're Brooklyn, a tanking team. We lose to them twice in close game situations. Our offense is terrible. Embiid can't figure it out. Embiid can't figure it out. Paul George just doesn't seem to have his legs under him. He can't really shoot from deep range from what we've seen. Maxi's really the only guy doing anything around these ends. Embiid doesn't play in back-to-back games, which just takes away the chemistry that this team is supposed to develop. And this load management stuff, it hasn't worked since the Spurs did it in 2014, and it's not going to continue to work. There's not really much to break down. It's this defensively, they are bad off the switch. Offensively, it just doesn't seem like there's any chemistry going. Guys just don't have their legs under them because of injuries. And there is no chemistry with this team. I agree with Cole. I'm looking towards the draft at the current moment in time. I don't think it is a coaching issue. Nick Nurse does not deserve to be fired. And we'll continue to break these games down. But as for now, they look pretty bad. Jamie can break down the Celtics game if you'd like, because obviously that game was we had something going until the Sixers completely collapsed.
So I want to ask, looking back on now that we're more than halfway through this year, we see Paul George, and we also see Tobias Harris in Detroit. Comparing Tobias this last season in Philly, would you rather have Tobias Harris or Paul George? Would you rather have kept Tobias Harris?
No.
Or still sign Paul George?
No, because obviously in hindsight the move for Paul George does not look that great. But at the end of the day, Tobias Harris had 0 points, 2 points in a closeout playoff game.
Zero.
Zero.
I had the same amount.
I could have I could shoot 0 for 7 or whatever, but and Paul George was obviously a big marquee signing. So in hindsight, obviously the move is not great, but what would have Tobias Harris done, especially with the way this team looks, if we would have kept him? It would have just been the same exact thing. Cole?
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that just because you're paying George more money, I guess you could say the deal is less better. Because, all in all, they're dead cap. They're not playing well. They're too old. So in general, it's just not a great look. We have veteran forwards who can't score the ball. It is what it is.
Anything else we have, or can we move on?
I'm ready to move on.
All right, we'll move on. Move on to the NFL draft. Now, obviously, the draft is not for a couple of months away here. I think it's like late April or whatever, early April, but whatever it is. We'll be continuing to talk about that as the time goes on, but Jamie will probably not be on before the draft happens. So we'll talk about the NFL draft here. I'll start with the Philadelphia Eagles with their 32nd overall pick. My number one prospect at the current moment in time is Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M. Very large frame, seems to hit the weight room a lot, can get off the edge, has a lot of power, can use his hands. We're probably going to end up losing a guy like Josh Sweat. We might lose Milton Williams. I'm a big fan of Thomas Booker and Ojimo. I like them a lot. So I think they can kind of step into that role. But it looks like we're going to be losing some of our defensive line. Now I'm looking here. It's a mock draft. Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. I'm not a big fan. It's not that I'm not a fan of the player. I'm just not a fan of the pick because I think guys like Thomas Booker and Ojimo can step up. Our edge rusher's not really much there other than, Brandon Graham's not going to be back. Nolan Smith, we might lose Josh Sweat. Obviously, Hunt's a good player, but how much can he really step up to be a top-level guy? I think you need a guy like Nick Scorton. Now, could he be taken a bit earlier? Yeah, but at the end of the day, I feel like he's the number one guy we have to be going for at the current moment in time. Cole?
Yeah, I'll start. We traded up before. If we're going to trade up, I'm looking at Jack Sayer. Similar to Scorton, just a guy who can, come in and create havoc, kind of immediately. He's super experienced. He's been to the national championship, so he's got that type of experience. But realistically, if we don't move up or anything, I'm looking at Darius Alexander, D-tackle from Toledo. Like I said, I wanted Quinyon Mitchell going into this draft. I wanted him over DeJean when it got to our pick. And I want another Toledo guy. I'm a fan of their work ethic. I'm a fan of the work that Quinyon has put in. Also DeJean, I'll give him his flowers. But I'm a big fan of Toledo at the current moment in time.
We got one out of how many, and we're all up on Toledo now.
Oh, okay.
Quinyon Mitchell had a really good draft combine. Unless we could see another.
He goes right back to hating on Toledo.
Yes, I was very skeptical of Quinyon Mitchell, and I apologize for that. But at the end of the day, who does Toledo play? Quinyon Mitchell was just somehow figured it out. I mean, there was a reason he wasn't the first corner taken. It was because he was from Toledo, and we don't know the competition in Toledo. Do we know any receiver out of that division who has made an impact in the NFL? I couldn't name you one. So I'm not saying that there aren't good guys out of Toledo, but I feel like Quinyon Mitchell was just one out of a million to come out. But you
a
can
little
say.
bit.
But anyway,
1 out of a million. Come on.
Well, I mean, come on.
Jeez, Ryan.
All
I mean,
right,
cut him a
all right,
break.
well, still. But anyway, Jamie, your Patriots have the 4th overall pick. Obviously, nowhere close to where the Eagles gotten this past season. A little bit of a shot there, but nonetheless, who are we looking at for our 4th overall pick?
4th overall pick, probably no-brainer. Abdul Carter, arguably the most electric player in the college football playoff this year. If not, I'm looking at Will Campbell out of LSU, a tackle out of LSU. O-line has been a huge issue for this team for the past 5-6 years. Obviously, Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi have struggled immensely under these last 5-6 O-lines. Now we have Drake May, a generational talent, the best rookie in his class.
Generational.
The best
Jaden
rookie
Daniel
in
went to
his
the
class.
NFC
What?
Championship.
The best rookie
Are we
quarterback
starting
in
here
his
already?
class.
Went to the NFC Championship.
Best
Bo Nix.
rushing quarterback.
Bo
What?
Nix
Rookie
was,
quarterback.
Oh my gosh, this is
Possibly, he's
coming in
second.
here
Did
He's
you just
second
see-
in yards per carry.
Did you
for a
just see
rookie
what Jaden
quarterback.
Daniels just did? Did you
Behind
see him run all over
one
teams?
person, Michael Vick, was the only person who had more yards per carry
Did you just see?
for a rookie quarterback.
Did you just see what Jaden Daniels did
Look
to
at
teams?
look at his team. Look at his team. Look at his.
Yeah, they went to the NFC
weapons.
Championship.
Look at his weapons.
We're-
Drake May
We're
had
talking
nothing.
about running the
Mario
football.
Douglas, Jalen Polk,
We're talking about running
Hold on,
the
hold on,
football
hold on.
Kendrick
here.
Bourne.
This is a perfect transition into what I think the Patriots will do on draft night. I have them trading the number 4 overall pick to the Panthers in exchange for the 8th, and then a couple of other like seconds and 4ths and whatnot. So I think that they trade down and they get McMillan out of Arizona,
That's not a
And
crazy
then-
thing to say.
and then 4th round they trade their 4th rounder to the LA Rams for Cooper Kupp.
That's not a crazy thing to say. Cooper Kupp has been on the Patriots box office eyes for months now.
Well, what
Yeah.
if-
Because
Exactly.
we have a
And
team full
stop
of
with the AJ Brown talk, okay?
That's
I'm
not
sick and
AJ
tired of
AJ
that.
Brown is going to the Patriots.
What?
Oh my!
Oh no! What is
AJ
going
Brown,
on here?
AJ
He
Brown
just won a
does
Super Bowl.
not want to be in Philly anymore.
He just won a
wants to
Super
play.
Bowl.
He wants to play for his childhood team.
Jalen Hurts put the
He
oil,
wants to play.
put the chrism oil
You
on
passed-
his kid.
You passed up on him.
It's his
You
godfather.
passed up on
It's
him.
his
Okay,
godparents, for God's sake. Jalen Hurts is AJ Brown's godparents, or maybe the other way around. Are you absolutely out of your mind?
Drake May.
Drake May
Drake
what?
May, the best
Yo.
rookie quarterback in his
So
class.
you're telling me that a quarterback that didn't play up
The
the
most
bar, had a
electric
couple,
quarterback
had
in
a,
the league.
had a couple of injuries
The most
this past
electric
season. He's
quarterback
going
in
to
the
leave
league.
a bona fide
He-
winner in Jalen
he
Hurts
had-
to go to the New England
He had
Patriots.
15 plus touchdowns in 9 games. Who's ever done that before?
And let me and how
As
many
a rookie quarterback with a team full of wide receiver threes.
And we don't know what Drake May's going to do with an actual one in the future. You're telling me that A.J. Brown would want to leave Philadelphia, a bona fide winning franchise, with as much as I hate to say it, the best general manager in football at the current moment in time. You're telling me he would leave that, a bona fide winning team, for a team that has an owner that is incompetent at the current moment in time? Are you absolutely
Robert
kidding me?
Kraft? First of all, who wouldn't want to play with the next coming of Tom Brady?
Hired Gerard Mayo, for God's sakes.
Mike Vrabel is our leader now.
Yeah, no.
Mike Vrabel is leading
And
our
how,
team
and
now.
how many got one AFC championship game and
He
and
took
lost.
Ryan Tannehill to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, with Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry had 2,000 rushing yards that year.
With Derrick Henry.
Ryan Tannehill.
And the Tennessee Titans actually had no line.
All right, so what if
Okay,
this?
okay.
Well, what if Travis Hunter falls to number 4?
Travis Hunter. He's the most talented player in the draft.
So would you pick a
By
quarterback?
far.
So you wouldn't pick a quarterback? No.
No, you
Alright.
can't.
We already
take
have a
quarterback.
quarterback.
Exactly.
So if Travis Hunter falls to 4, we're taking him over Carter. Is what we're trying to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I feel like there's a top 4. I think
'Cause-
it's Sanders, Cam Ward, Hunter, and
I don't believe in Shador Sanders.
and Carter. Yeah, but think about it. Titans need a quarterback. Giants need a quarterback.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But that's how the order's probably going to go. But I'm not a fan of Shador Sanders.
Ward and
well,
Sanders
that's
are
how
going
it's
to
gonna
those.
happen.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's it. We can move on here to let's go to Cole. You're going to talk about the what do you call it? The Saints taking our coordinator away, Kellen Moore, and Dennis Allen was fired in the middle of the year, and also he's bringing along former Chargers head coach Brandon Staley to be his defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I like this pick for the Saints. Obviously, Kellen Moore, highly successful in his tenure with Philadelphia. He relied a lot on Saquon Barkley, and I feel like that could pan out well, especially because of Alvin Kamara. They have other weapons like Chris Olave. Do need to be cautious of his health. He's had a bunch of concussions in the past couple of years. Derek Carr, he's getting old. Gotten a lot of injuries. I think he only played like 10 games last year. So you need to get Jalen Milroe. I don't think, like, granted, this quarterback class isn't that great. Obviously, you don't believe in Shador. Cam Ward is going to be taken off the board a mile before their pick. So they're going to have to wait and take Jalen Milroe. I think he's a project, but I think that's what they need to work on. So yeah, it is what it is. And then, for example, I mean, I like the Staley hire. I believe he worked with him with the Chargers. But I mean, how much is it really going to matter? Because eventually, I think he'll be gone. I don't know about Kellen Moore, but Staley, I mean, I don't love him. He's a good fit for this roster just because of that connection that he had with Kellen Moore. They could have gone Robert Livingston from Colorado, but there's no point in that. I mean, they were okay defensively, and they had the best quarterback in all of college football. So, I mean, it doesn't matter that much to me. I mean, I'm keeping this short and quick, but I like the Kellen Moore hire. Staley, he's like a C for me.
All right. Well, I mean, I would say that it's a good hire for the Saints. Obviously, needs somewhat of an offense.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore probably had the best offense in the NFL last year. So yeah, I mean, it's a great hire. It's a good hire for the Saints. You know, you've had really nothing over the past couple of years. Obviously, you had 2 games against bad defenses. So, you know, Derek Carr is obviously not the answer. I wouldn't suggest taking a quarterback, to be honest with you. I probably would just tank the year and maybe try and wait for Arch Manning or somebody like that to come out into the draft. I mean, I wouldn't be too interested in taking a quarterback if I am the Saints. You have Derek Carr on a contract for a reason, even though I don't know how he figured out a way to stay in Vegas or Oakland for that long. But when it comes to Brandon Staley, I feel like all coaches or all coordinators don't have to be great head coaches. I feel like it's the same way for Brandon Staley. Look at Robert Saleh. Well, Saleh wasn't terrible, but I mean the team was terrible. Look at Josh McDaniels. You know, he's the perfect example of a good coordinator that just can't pan out to be a head coach. So yeah, I mean, you don't always have to be an incredible coach to be to be a good coordinator. You know, I think we don't even know how Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are going to work out. So you know, I don't think it's a terrible move. Brandon Staley, he's had some great defenses in his last few years as a coordinator, so you know you got to give him credit where credit is due there. But you know, I think this is an all right move for the Saints. Doesn't mean they're going anywhere in the next couple of years, probably not. But you know, this is probably just a move for the future. Jamie, go ahead.
Yeah, the Saints. I agree with you. Tanking this year would probably be the best move for the Saints.
Okay, no one's high on Milroe, man. I kind of like
No.
him.
I mean,
Milroe.
It's a project, but I feel like
can't
he
really
could
throw the
be-
football that well.
He's like Joe Milton.
No, he's not. Joe Milton.
He's
has
a lot like
Joe
Joe
Milton
Milton.
can
Joe
throw
Milton.
the
Joe Milton
ball.
could throw the
Joe
ball.
Milton has
He's not a
infinite arm
quarterback
power.
though.
And you guys should trade him because
not
he's probably gonna have high draft value.
Yeah, he's not a quarterback. He just has.
You're saying Milton isn't a quarterback?
Milton is not as good as
You
Drake.
wanted to say
Milton,
he's an athlete.
he's
but
an
that's-
athlete, exactly.
I mean, that's really all the Patriots draft. They don't draft any fast guys. They don't draft any. I mean, they draft some.
It's
strong
okay.
Guys,
It's okay
but
if we have the next coming of Tom Brady on our team.
He literally compares nothing to Tom Brady.
The goat.
And Tom Brady.
I'm talking about potential goat
And Tom-
status.
He literally okay, then say that. He's not anything
He's
near
going.
what
He's
Tom.
going. He's going to surpass Tom Brady.
Well, then say that, and that's
Everything.
stupid to say.
He's going.
Like that.
he's
That
gonna
is
pass
the
Tom Brady in.
stupidest thing I've ever heard come out of your mouth.
Have you seen?
and that is.
Have you
that's-
seen Drake May?
Yeah, I saw
Drake
him.
May, the most electric quarterback
I saw him
in this
get about
rookie class,
5 concussions as well.
The best rookie quarterback in that draft class
Well,
last year.
I mean, he also
And
threw 3 picks against the Texans.
And
in
what
his
about
first game.
Jaden Daniels?
Okay. Jaden Daniels had an incredible team.
Bo Nix had a better
supporting
team.
him.
And Bo Nix didn't have a great team.
Better team than the Patriots, obviously.
Yeah, better team, and they went to the
Bo
playoffs.
Nix had no running back. All he had on offense was Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton. That's a
He
wide
had
receiver
bad
one.
offensive
The
line.
Patriots do
You're
not have
telling
wide
me
receiver
one.
that
one.
Cortland Sutton could be a number 1 wide receiver on a championship team? Is that what you're honestly going to tell
Obviously
He
not.
would be
but
wide receiver 3 on the Eagles.
that's because the Eagles have A.J. Brown.
me? That's the
And
point being.
Devonta
That's the
Smith.
point being. He can't be a number 1 or hell even it looks like a number 2
We
on
have
a
a team
championship
full of
team.
wide receiver threes. Demario Douglas, Kendrick Bourne.
Okay, so you're telling me that if you
Jalen
put
Cole.
Cortland Sutton on the Patriots, they would have went to the playoffs.
No, obviously.
Exactly.
Well then Bo Nix went to the playoffs with Cortland
But
Sutton.
Drake May did.
Well, I will say the Broncos had a good defense.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only thing that
Patriots had
separates
nothing.
them. But I mean, it doesn't really matter for Bo Nix
We'll talk
because
about
offensively he needs to
offensive
make.
production.
Yeah, exactly.
The Broncos had better offensive production than the New England Patriots when Drake May was in there.
Drake May had 15 plus touchdowns in half the season.
Oh,
half the
15 plus
season.
touchdowns.
And how much did that? And what did
Half
that
the
amount
season?
to? And what did that amount to?
It amounted
Nothing.
to-
And they probably I don't know who you guys played the last 2 weeks, but it probably was a playoff team sitting their starters. So he probably had
Yes, that's why we ended
You
up
lost
with
to
the
the
fourth
Chargers.
pick.
That's
That's
why
why we
he
ended
had-
up with the fourth pick.
and that is
So-
why he had 15 touchdowns in the last 9 weeks or whatever.
He'll be a good quarterback, but nowhere near the GOAT.
Great.
Nowhere near the GOAT. We're gonna move on.
I don't know if he even makes a Pro Bowl.
We're gonna move on.
He already did, bud.
He was a replacement.
Whatever.
Give me a break.
That doesn't even count.
Let's move on to the Los Angeles.
Maxey should have been a reserve.
Yeah, let's move on to the Los Angeles Lakers here, who have finally defeated the Denver Nuggets. A pretty good win, actually, over the Denver Nuggets, 123-100. The Lakers.
On the road. On the road.
Yes, on the road. Thank you. I mean, the Lakers, they look great. LeBron played really well. 25-point game. It seems like him and Luka Doncic have gotten that chemistry going. Luka Doncic doesn't have that lob threat, but even at 40 years old, LeBron's doing a great job of sort of being that for him in transition. So I think that could be, a way to tire teams out in the future. Austin Reeves is, when he gets hot, there's not really much stopping him. He shot great from 3 in this game, 4 for 7. I believe the Lakers, they shot 39% from 3 throughout the game, but their starters played decently well. Hachimura, 4 for 9. LeBron, 1 for 4. Doncic, 4 for 9. Reeves, 4 for 7. My only thing with the Los Angeles Lakers is that they're probably not going to be this hot with over the course of the season. This is just their hottest game yet. They still don't have a big man to take down a guy like Jokic, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, some of the better bigs in the Western Conference. So I think that their ceiling is the Western Conference Finals. Their floor is probably a first-round exit. Are we really relying on Luka and LeBron to stay healthy over the course of the season? Now, they don't have to necessarily be injured where they're not playing, but being healthy and playing hurt, they're probably going to be doing that. This was just a bad game for Denver overall. I mean, Jokic was held at 12 points. He just shot terribly throughout the game. I expect him to pick that up. He's second in my MVP voting at the current moment in time. But yeah, I'm not going to put too much into this. But the Lakers are still a good team. They're 13 games over 500 right now. They obviously, can move the ball well around the floor. Seems like once again, Luka and LeBron have been able to figure out a way to get their teammates open shots. They play Dallas tomorrow night, and that's going to be a fun one. Obviously, I expect the Lakers to win that one. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to crap on about the Lakers at the current moment in time. They're a pretty decent team. I just don't think that they're better than the Oklahoma City Thunder. I still don't think they're better than Denver, even as we speak. I mean, I'm looking at the Western. I don't think they're better than Memphis. I'm a big fan of Santi Aldama. The Rockets are a good team as well. They're tied for.
They're better than the Rockets, though.
Yeah,
I've seen the Rockets play. They rely on Jalen Green
well,
too much.
Sengun.
I'm talking about the big man factor of it. Sengun.
Shengun, come on, what are we doing?
What?
Shengun is a dark horse.
I know, but
in the center conversation.
He's like
He's like a top 5 center right now.
I agree with
Name me
RTG.
5 centers better than Şengün right now.
Kristaps Porzingis.
No,
I was-
absolutely not. Get the hell out of here. Are you
okay.
absolutely out of your mind?
Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh, come on.
Jokic.
Okay.
Jokic
AD.
is better.
Jokic
Cat
is
is
injured.
better. Domantas Sabonis is better.
As of late, Cat has been better.
Okay, I agree with that.
So, but I have Şengün over Sabonis. I have Şengün over Sabonis.
I don't know. I mean,
What?
Scoring wise, yes.
Sabonis
Yes.
is leading the league in rebounds.
Yeah, but he's a better rebounder.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a better rebounder. He's averaging like 6 assists a game as well. I mean, I know Şengün's pretty solid in that category. As
Yeah,
well.
I mean, like, I mean, that's like,
Victor
that's like a,
Wembanyama's better, but
well,
he's
he's
not
in,
playing.
out for the year, so you
Alright,
can't put
not
him in
really
there.
there.
Can't put him in there.
Whatever.
He's out for the year. All right, well, we'll move on. But actually, not move on. Any thoughts on the Lakers?
Yeah, I mean, it's all their playoff success comes down to how well their role players play, because obviously we know what Luka and LeBron will both provide. I think it was really detrimental that that they lost the mark. Okay, just make fun of me for my.
No. I heard
Exquisite
some
vocab.
scream outside.
It was a scream.
My bad. Anyways, sorry. Back in. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously Luka and LeBron are going to put up what they put up, but I think it was really detrimental that they lost Mark Williams. I thought he was very, very good. Yeah, I mean, they had the trade go through, but then what was it? The physical that failed.
Yeah,
so I
something
mean,
like that.
it's just brutal for them, and they've needed a center for the longest time. And I don't think AD's a center in my opinion. 6'10". You know, obviously Mark Williams 7'2". I just think Mark Williams is practically done with Charlotte. I think he's just I mean, most people are done with Charlotte except for LaMelo. So I don't know. Anyways, I'm done with this.
All right, Jamie, Lakers.
And we saw a glimpse of that magic between Luka and the GOAT.
Take
the
that
other
back
day.
right now.
The GOAT? The
No.
GOAT? The greatest of all time, LeBron?
Who?
It is 2025. LeBron is the GOAT.
No, it is not. Are you absolutely stupid?
LeBron is the GOAT.
What?
Jordan does not touch LeBron.
Not touch him. Are you
Jordan
absolutely
doesn't
crazy?
touch LeBron.
You better walk out and think about what you just said.
How about you walk out right now?
Yeah, you better walk. You better
And
walk out and
think-
think about what you just said. Are you absolutely crazy?
Jordan does not come close to LeBron.
How? In what aspect of basketball?
Almost every single aspect.
Give me one.
Scoring?
What?
Yes. LeBron is the greatest scorer of all time.
Who's a better three-point shooter? Jordan.
LeBron.
Who-
Jordan
What?
sucked at
Who's a
threes.
better free throw shooter? Jordan.
Jordan.
And who's better at getting to the rim? Jordan.
LeBron.
Who had the crossover? Who perfected the crossover? And guess what? LeBron didn't
All
have
these first. LeBron is a better version of Michael Jordan
No,
in almost every single
what?
way.
No, he's not.
Almost every clutch factor.
Clutch
better than
factor.
Jordan.
What? He
Clutch
choked.
factor.
He choked in like
In
five
one finals.
What?
If
How about
Jordan
20
didn't have
how-
Pippen
how-
for every single one of his
How
finals.
about 2014?
He wouldn't have gotten
where
anywhere.
How about 2014 when he's cursing that Kawhi Leonard comes back on the floor?
Okay, what happened in 2014?
He lost.
Because
He got
none of
locked-
his
he
teammates
got
showed
himself
up.
locked down.
None of his teammates showed up.
Kawhi Leonard locked him up.
He was, you know, who was averaging.
Who won the Finals MVP and who was guarding LeBron throughout the whole series? That was Kawhi Leonard.
Jordan couldn't do anything without Pippen.
And LeBron.
He hasn't won a playoff series without Pippen.
And how many championships did LeBron win without his Hall of Fame
He's gotten
teammate?
farther with less.
And how many rings did that account to?
Obviously 0.
There you
can't,
go.
can't win a
So
you can't win a championship without any all-stars, all defensive.
Says who?
Says who
Dirk,
has ever
Dirk
been.
Nowitzki did it, and who did he beat? LeBron. Exactly.
Jason Kidd.
Yeah, he wasn't an all-star that year. The guy was a dinosaur.
Kidd.
The guy was a dinosaur.
Yeah, Jason Kidd.
Let's go up to the
Yeah, Jason
biology
Kidd.
room and let's see the dinosaurs. I guarantee we'll see Jason Kidd in that
Dinosaur.
one.
Dinosaur. You want to see dinosaurs? All the people will still think Jordan is the GOAT.
Oh, I
How
guess
are you
what? I'm
still
right
holding
here.
on to this
I'm
conversation?
right here.
How are you still holding on to this conversation? LeBron is the GOAT.
No,
it is
he's
2025.
What? Come on.
Jordan had no defense against him.
Is it, what? The Jordan rules?
They changed the rules.
The Jordan rules?
They got rid of
from
help defense.
From the Pistons?
They got rid of help defense for Jordan.
You talking about they have no defense. What about the Jordan rules from the Pistons?
The Jordan rules?
From Pistons,
You mean
the
when they got
Pistons.
rid of help defense to help Jordan?
They literally had double
So
teams
they had
when he
to
would drive inside.
they had to ISO him?
They literally had double teams when he was driving inside. Watch the fouls that they committed when they double team him inside.
They got rid of help
Watch
defense.
the film.
They got rid of help defense for Jordan.
And you're still not talking. And okay,
They guarded LeBron with all 5 guys.
I have not seen that. Look at the 2011 NBA Finals.
Tim Duncan. That's what Tim Duncan said. He was respecting the greatest player in the world.
Just because somebody, what do you call it? Tom Brady thinks that Peyton Manning is the GOAT. Do you agree with that?
No, Tom Brady's being humble.
Oh my.
Because he is the GOAT.
And then Tim Duncan's being humble as well.
Because LeBron is the GOAT.
No,
LeBron is the GOAT. Are you saying Tim Duncan's the GOAT?
No, I have him like 8.
Tim Duncan's top 5.
What?
Tim Duncan is
Oh,
top
you
5.
are
No,
absolutely
okay.
insane.
This is where I come in.
That is
Absolutely not.
insane.
How?
I
What
can
is your
make-
top
We're-
5?
you know what?
I better.
We're going to take your chair and we're going to move you out. Let's go. Let's go. I've had enough. Get out of here.
Why don't you go up to the biology room with all the dinosaurs now?
Yeah, that's where Jason Kidd's going to ride from the 2011 finals. Get your chair, get your Chromebook, and get out of here. But actually, you know what? We have part of the show left, so you can't leave.
Tim Duncan, I mean, come on, dude. I mean, are we serious? Tim
Come
Duncan.
on.
We are serious.
I mean,
Who's your top 5?
LeBron James.
Okay, that's terrible, but I'll keep going.
Kareem.
Are you absolutely kidding me?
Jordan. Shaq.
Oh, my God.
Tim Duncan.
Oh, that is the worst. Oh, that's the
What's your
worst.
top 5?
Jordan,
Oh my
LeBron, Kareem, Magic Johnson, and Bill Russell.
Bill Russell in your
Does
top
no one
5?
else have Kobe?
Yes.
Does no one else
Number
have
6.
Kobe?
Number 6.
That is.
Kobe's top 8.
It's kind of. Oh my God. Dumb.
Yeah,
Absolute.
move on to the next segment.
Yeah. All right, Cole. It's your segment now. The San Antonio Spurs have lost Victor Wembanyama for the season due to a blood clot in his right shoulder.
My bad.
Is that funny?
I thought that was pretty funny. Anyways.
Are the Spurs tanking now that he's done for the
The
year?
Spurs are tanking, and they lost Popovich as well.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
So,
you know.
that is my answer. I'm leaving it at that. Do we want to get into Ryan's rants, or do you guys have something to say?
Well, first off, I don't think the Spurs are. I think they should be tanking. They can with the current moment in time.
Yeah, well, De'Aaron Fox might keep them there.
They well, I mean, they're 24 and 31. They're obviously not going to go anywhere. You might as well just not really win that many games, And this draft class is really good, so I think
you could trade Chris Paul for
right. Well, Chris Paul, he's not really worth much.
something.
Not a first
Maybe
round
pennies
pick.
on the dollar.
Not a first round pick, but
Okay. Anyways,
Paul has been decent this year for
Mhm.
Victor Wembanyama. Like, he's not a scoring threat, but
Yeah.
he's gotten around like 5-7
Yeah.
assists per game or whatever.
and he's been
Um,
good in Wembanyama's development.
Right.
Obviously.
But anyway, Jamie, this disgrace of a take, Jason Tatum's first Finals MVP, by the way, didn't even win the Finals MVP last year, will affect his GOAT status. Now, first thing I have after this season. Now, let me first ask you, where's Jason Tatum on your all-time list?
Right now, all time, he probably barely breaks top 50.
Not even in the top 75.
He
You mean?
hasn't even entered his prime yet.
And okay. Oh my God.
He's 26.
With one champion. So you're saying that in his prime.
26 with a ring. Led his team in points, rebounds, and assists through the whole playoff.
And what did
run.
that won him a championship? Didn't get him any other hardware.
Won him a championship.
And didn't get him any other hardware. No.
I don't know
conference finals
who
MVP.
won. When Steve Nash won, who was second in All-Star voting? LeBron. Everyone knows LeBron should have won it over Steve Nash that year.
Which year? He won twice.
The first year Steve Nash won, when LeBron was second in MVP voting,
What does
everyone
this have-
knows
What does
LeBron
this have
should
to
have
do
been
with
first.
What does this have to do with Jason Tatum?
Obviously, there are some errors in the calculations in the decisions.
Calculation.
In the decisions
Oh,
for
Are you typing with a
MVP.
calculator?
In MVP, obviously Jaylen Brown deserved the Eastern Conference Finals MVP,
Oh my God.
but Jason Tatum deserved that Finals MVP.
Are you and how? How did he do that? And how did he deserve
I already told you. Led his team in points,
Zero
rebounds,
clutch
and
factor.
assists.
Exactly. Cole
I
is
don't-
completely correct.
I didn't see him.
They didn't need a clutch factor. They won 4-1. They were dominating that
all right,
whole
the-
series.
the
In the
most-
last 2 minutes of every game, I didn't see him make a single shot until probably the last 1 or 2 games.
First of all, all right, if Tatum has a shooting slump, the Celtics have
Horrible in the fourth quarter.
3 losses that whole playoff run.
They have an
obviously
all-star
Tatum had a shooting slump, but the way he can affect the game in so many ways possible.
They have an
Getting
all-star team
assists,
around
boards, playing perimeter D, interior D.
You say
He can do it.
If
He
you-
can guard all 5
Okay,
positions
so
seamlessly.
You're talking.
What? Are you
Whoa,
serious? Are you? I think I might have bigger muscles than Jason Tatum. You're telling me he can guard the 5?
Yes.
Are you crazy?
Yes.
You're telling me he can guard
Okay.
Jokic?
All right.
Embiid doesn't have anything on Tatum. Embiid is Tatum's son.
Oh, okay. He
The
has
whole
lost to him.
Philly
together.
organization.
All right, he's lost to him a couple times. I'll give you that. But you're telling me he could take on guys like Jokic, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein.
Chet Holmgren.
Shit. Okay, well he's a little skinny. I'll give you that. But you're telling me that he could take on the top 5 centers in the NBA? Sengun,
I don't even think he can guard
Sabonis.
He can guard Shea.
Shea is the most unguardable player in the NBA right now.
Shea, the free throw merchant.
Did you just watch that game last
Shea,
night?
the free throw merchant.
He has the most free throws in the NBA. You want to know why? Because they hack him. That's why. That's why. I mean, Shaq had so many free throws as well, and you know what? That's why he's not even in the top 5. He got hacked.
Shaq, the most dominant player, the most dominant center in history.
Yeah.
Shaq,
Yeah.
he is top 5.
No, he's not. I don't even. He's barely in my top 10.
All right.
Exactly.
I think Cole draws the line there.
Ryan's right.
Shaq
You know
is top
what?
10.
No. How? So wait a minute. If he wins a Finals MVP, where is he in the GOAT conversation?
He's
not even- actually,
He's
what even-
beginning to make his way into the GOAT conversation because after this,
I could put
after the Celtics 3-peat in a couple years,
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right. all right, all
Jason
right.
Tatum
Hold
will
on,
have
hold on, hold on.
7 rings by the end of his career.
Okay.
That is just so false. It's
I-
unbelievable.
I have something for you. I think Hakeem is closer to whoever the GOAT is, whether it's Jordan or LeBron.
Jordan.
Who is the
Hakeem
GOAT?
is closer to the GOAT than Tatum
Yeah, of course. he is.
Obviously, yeah.
is closer to Hakeem. Like, what are we talking about?
Hakeem won 2 Finals MVPs and won
Tatum is
back-to-back
26.
titles
He hasn't even entered his prime yet.
with
and
an
he's-
Yes, he
all-star
has.
team. He literally has 4 other all-stars with him on his starting 5.
How many All-Stars played?
You say Kristaps
How many were in the All-Star game?
You say Kristaps Porzingis is a
1.
top 5 center.
Yes.
So he has a top 5 center, another all-star, and 2 of the best the best defensive perimeter guard in the NBA, and one of the best shooting guards in the NBA as well, in Derek
He's
White.
the best player on that team.
And he has an all-star lineup. The reason why Jaylen Brown won the Finals MVP is because Jason Tatum did not come up in the clutch moments. Who did you see getting the ball?
Let his team in.
Who did you
points,
see?
rebounds, assists.
Who did you see getting the ball in the biggest moments?
Oh my gosh.
Who did you see getting the ball in the biggest moments? Who did you see?
Jason, they always went to Jason.
No, they
Oh,
did
no,
not.
They almost went
What?
to Tatum first.
Holy-
Brown came up in the clutch, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Eastern Finals Game 1. Yes, that was probably the biggest moment in that whole round. Besides for Drew Holiday's steal in Game 3 to seal the game.
So
Sure.
when did Jason Tatum come up in the clutch to help his team actually win the game in the end?
In the end,
Yeah, in the fourth quarter.
they didn't need to because they won 4-1. See, Game 1 was a
There was-
blowout.
the games were close.
Game 1 was a blowout.
We're talking about the close games here.
The close games. They won every game by at least 10.
But they're. Hold on.
We're talking about in like the fourth quarter when the games were close, when they came down to the wire. Sure, they pulled away in the end, but we're talking about
Sure.
when they were
Okay.
close.
Okay. When Tatum had a shooting slump, he had a shooting slump that playoff run.
And why do you
obviously.
think
Obviously,
Jaylen Brown
but
won the
his
MVP?
defense, his defensive prowess, they couldn't score on him.
Oh my God.
They could
Bring
not
out the
score on him when
vocab
Tatum
list.
switched onto the ball. When Tatum switched on the ball, they couldn't score on him. They couldn't.
Serious?
They couldn't score on him.
You're serious? I have a sore throat. I'd be screaming right now. Are you absolutely crazy?
I still can't believe you said he could guard Chet. Anyways, Ryan's rants
Are
time.
you absolutely out of your mind? Jason
Shay?
Tatum in the wait a minute. Let me just fathom it and put this into perspective. You think Jason Tatum's in the GOAT conversation if he wins another championship?
He will be after the
Oh
Celtics
my
3-peat.
God!
After the Celtics
This is
3-peat.
absolutely
In 2 years.
diabolically ridiculous.
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 It is not ridiculous to say the Celtics will 3-peat. They
It's
have
not
no
ridiculous to say that.
competition this year. What will happen next year?
God.
They have their starting 5 locked up.
Jason Tatum isn't
till
even in the top 5.
2031.
You know what? Right now, Bob Pettit had a better career than Jason Tatum.
Are we serious?
Yeah, we're serious.
Are we serious
Yeah,
right
we're
now?
serious right now.
Bob Pettit and Jason Tatum, the most talented
I
player
will
in this
never
league right
put
now.
Jason Tatum over Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, Dr. J. Are you crazy? Moses Malone. Are you crazy? I will never put Jason Tatum over them.
I would hate Jason Tatum if he owned my franchise too. So I'd give you
Just
that.
because he's had a couple of playoff wins does not mean that he deserves to be in the GOAT conversation.
No, obviously not right now, but he will be.
Just remember, when we won the finals in the Eastern Conference, when we beat you guys, the Celtics fans were chanting, "Beat the Lakers." And we'll end on that. Ryan's rants, first topic. Sanders not working out at the combine.
All right, Shador. I mean, it's not like you're a generational prospect like Andrew Luck, who's another great quarterback to come out of it. Joe Burrow. It's not like you're a Caleb Williams, so they say. It's not like you're a generational prospect in any way, shape, or form. No, shut it. This is my segment. It's not like you're a generational prospect and you decide, let me not work out at the combine. Who the hell are you to not work out at the combine? You're no generational prospect like the guys I just mentioned, minus Drake May. Are you absolutely stupid? What is going on here? What is this player empowerment stuff where they think they can just go to every single team? What a disgrace.
UFC Seattle main event.
What? All right, so hold on here. You're telling me that Henry Cejudo got disqualified for getting tapped in the genitals and having bad tissue in his eye or whatever. That's why Henry Cejudo couldn't. They gave the win to Song Yadong. Are you absolutely out of your mind? The guy's body was falling apart right in front of us. Not saying that Song did it intentionally, but at the end of the day, you hit the guy in the nuts and eye poke him 2 times. You should be disqualified at some point. 3 illegal moves, maybe not done intentionally, but you got to be disqualified at some point. What a terrible decision by the referee. We don't even got a good fight until, I don't even know, Hooker versus Gaethje.
All right. Last but not least.
And then obviously Pereira not collide.
What is Darius Slay doing?
All right, so first off, Darius Slay, he's gonna lead the Philadelphia Eagles, but then let me just stay with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now all of a sudden he's gonna get traded or released again. Make up your mind. Do you want to stay in Philadelphia or do you not want to stay in Philadelphia? We need to make up our mind here. Once again, tired of this player empowerment stuff. Ruining the NBA, I know that. Obviously, commanding $300 million from a guy who didn't win Finals MVP is obviously, a problem as well. But Darius Slay's got to make up his mind. I love any Eagles player that will want us to Super Bowl, but at the end of the day, maybe minus Wendell Smallwood, but at the end of the day, you got to figure out what you're doing here. I get it's, the end of the season, but you should have an idea. You just don't go back and forth and saying what you're doing. It's going to, what it's going to be like? It's going to be like the Justin Jefferson angle where we didn't know what the hell was going on. Same thing with T. Higgins. All right, that's it. I'm done. Anything we have to say on that?
Nope.
Yeah, you think Shador's a generational prospect, right? That's ridiculous.
Shador's the most talented QB in this class.
We're done right here.
Okay, I wouldn't disagree, but it's not going to amount to anything. He's a stat pattern.
Okay.
Doesn't throw in completions and just takes sacks.
All right.
He's no Drake May, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. He'll probably turn out to be better than Drake
We
May.
are done here. Okay.
All right, Cole's got to get the baseball.
That will do it for the latest edition of the CR7 Podcast. Guys, tune in next Monday. Hopefully we can get some Kimber to the Grind out on Friday. And the Jason Nitt should be out soon. So anyways, that'll do it for the latest edition. We will see you later. Peace.
Peace.